enough respect due when they reminisce over you. Listen.
Listen. Just listen to the funky songs as I rock on, and that's word is born. I'm not playing. Everybody, just coolin'. This song we dedicate to the one and only. Never be another. He was my brother. Trouble T. Roy. It's like that, y'all. And it don't stop. Rockin' still smooth for 92. And we out.
Welcome back to What's Good Bonaventure. I'm Danielle Clark, and today we've got an exciting lineup for you with 3 awesome segments you aren't going to want to miss. Today, Jared is taking us through his top 3 music tracks. So get cozy and hit play. Here's Music in Bed.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy. My name is Jared Johnson, and welcome back to Music in Bed. Last time, I gave you guys my 4th and my 3rd greatest songs of all time. This time, you'll be hearing my 2nd and my 1st. So jumping straight into it, I think the 2nd greatest song of all time is Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. There's almost no one on the planet who has not heard this song. The popularity that it has is unmatched, but it's not for no reason. There's so much that goes into the song. Not only are there extreme guitar solos and rocking out, but there's also operatic sections. Starting off the song with a beautiful piano melody and then diving straight into Brian May shredding on the guitar is just such an interesting contrast. And when talking about the song, you have to address the nonsense words. Who knew that Scaramouche and Beelzebub were words before they heard this song? There has been nothing like it since it came out, and because of that, it is engraved in music history and claims my number 2 spot. When discussing the greatest songs of all time, at least one Beatles song has to be in there. The Beatles are arguably the greatest band of all time. They changed the way people thought about and made music. In my opinion, their greatest song and the greatest song of all time is Here Comes the Sun. Written by, singing for, and playing guitar for this song is George Harrison. In my opinion, the best Beatle. This song is his masterpiece while a part of the band. When explaining this song to anybody, I always start by saying this is the happiest song I have ever heard. It is almost impossible not to have a smile on your face when listening. I love harmony in music, and the Beatles just have the most tremendous harmony, unlike anybody else. It's especially showcased in this song. This unbelievable harmony, alongside Harrison's delicate picking and tender singing, just gives the song the most beautiful vibe. The message of this piece is about the lack of sun that London sees and the joy Harrison gets when it comes out. There's nothing negative I could say about this song. It is spectacular, and I most definitely think it deserves to be the greatest song of all time. So, these are my greatest songs of all time. I hope you enjoyed this week of Music in Bed, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Peace out.
Welcome back to our segment On the Hot Seat, where Maddie sits down with a familiar face on campus. Check it out.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm a sophomore here at St. Bonaventure University, and today we're interviewing Dr. Helmy. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here with you, Maggie.
Thank you for being here. Our first hot sauce of the day is chili garlic.
Oh, it's good. Oh, it's got a little smokiness to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. This is good. We can eat chicken wings together.
Yeah.
This is good.
What has been your favorite experience here at St. Bonaventure?
Students, teaching students. So right now my job is very much administrative, management. I work with faculty, which I love. That's probably the second most rewarding experience is working with faculty. But number one was, and that started the minute I came here, I loved kind of the interaction I would get with students. And they were just kind of real interested, curious, willing to ask questions. It was really rewarding as a teacher. So I started doing that more and more when I was in class, when I was doing research with students. By far, that's the best experience. Now, is there any one in particular? I don't think so. I think like every time I'm in the classroom, a good lecture is probably the greatest feeling I've ever had.
Getting everybody to interact.
Seeing people light up, knowing that you're doing something, it might be a hard topic, and you pour your heart and soul into it. And then when you see their eyes kind of catch it, or you're seeing heads nod, or people answering questions, and you walk out, like you're exhausted, but man, that's a good feeling. So that's probably my number one.
So this was our hottest sauce last time.
Oh, so we've gone up one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This is sauce number 2. It's red hot, extra hot.
Oh gosh. Okay, let's do this. But we're not gonna chicken out, right?
No,
I can't do that.
no.
I want to just put like a dab on it, but I'm not gonna do that. Ready?
No.
Let's do it. Never trust your first instinct on these. It's gonna hit.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there. It's there.
According to an article from the Bonaventure, you mentioned an analogy from the book The Life and Times of Jesus of Nazareth, comparing a religion to a well. How did this affect your life?
Wow, you went deep for that one.
I did.
I did
a lot of
credit
research.
because that was a few years ago. I think what I was referring to was a lot of times, you think about your faith or your beliefs. And I think spirituality can kind of be used in that terms. I think about it. I'm a Catholic. That's kind of that was the way I was raised. When I was talking about that, I saw it as many different wells. Everybody has a certain place that you can go to where you can find strength, you can find the ability to kind of persevere or overcome, and also to find, I think, a greater purpose. So for me, my Catholic faith is that well. Like, I can go to that, and it brings me, I think, a little bit closer to what I think is a bigger purpose for me in a much broader world. That's where I find strength, especially in difficult times. That's where I go to, but everybody has a different well that they go to. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's different, but we hope that everybody has that deeper space that they can find some comfort, solace, strength from.
This is our third sauce, fire roasted garlic and habanero.
This is gonna hurt a little bit, but I think it's all right. There. Whew. Okay. A little sweet. You got it.
Me this time.
It was me. Okay, let's do this.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Round 3.
3.
If you didn't end up here at St. Bonaventure, what would you have done with your chemist career?
There's a couple of the different pathways I had been thinking about. Most of the people who got there, what's really hard is when you're trying to do like a serious question and your tongue is just on fire. So I'm gonna do my best. The 2 different pathways I was thinking about was moving into the pharmaceutical industry, drug development. The reason why I actually got into science is because I wanted to develop drugs, work on pharmaceuticals, new medicines. That's what really got me excited when I was in college. And so I thought maybe that was a pathway. And so the graduate program I went into, that was where most of the people I had worked with, that's where they went. And then another option was kind of being a professor at, let's say, a large school like Ohio State or Syracuse or Pitt or some place like that, where you're doing research. So you're doing, publishing articles, getting grants, getting funded, and maybe you teach a little bit on the side. So I probably would have gone down one of those pathways if I was using my chemistry degree. But this is just so much better. For me, it's just so much better. So. But if I didn't go into chemistry, people have always asked me, I'm like, I'd be like a storm chaser. I've always wanted to be a storm chaser when I was a kid. Like Twister, the original Twister.
The original.
That was a good one.
Not the new Twister.
I hadn't seen the new Twister.
You haven't seen it?
And I feel like I'm shirking my responsibilities as a wannabe storm chaser. So I got to find this next movie. So
We appreciate you coming and hanging out with us today and eating all these chicken wings.
it was my pleasure, and it was great talking to you, Maddie. I thought your questions were really good. I think they were fun. There were a couple that I did not expect, but overall, it was a great time.
Bonnie's Continental Drift travels from Brazil to South Africa. Episode 2 features Bonnie's tennis player, Isabella Venter.
In this second edition of Bonnie Sports Insider Continental Drift, we will be flying into the second continent of this series, Africa. I had the opportunity to speak with Bonnie's women's tennis player, Isabella Venter. Halfway into her junior year, Isabella shared how she has adapted from living in the bustling city of Johannesburg, South Africa, to the student-athlete life in the rural community surrounding St. Bonaventure.
When did you decide that you wanted to become a tennis player?
Well, I started playing tennis when I was 5. It wasn't anything serious at the start, but eventually I just really started to love the sport, and I started playing school tennis quite a lot. And then at the age of 13, I knew I wanted to play college tennis in America. By age 16, I started playing international tournaments, and I was lucky enough to make the national schools team. And it was just a great way for me to travel, meet new people, and tennis has always been that for me.
Yeah, and some of those tournaments that you participated in when you were like 15 and 16 allowed you to kind of visit the iconic arena in which the Wimbledon tournament takes place. For you as a young player, how did that moment feel for you of just being in the presence of that arena?
I think being at Wimbledon for the first 2 days of the tournament was the most amazing experience, because at that time all the players are still there and you can see them practicing, you can see them playing on all the courts, so it's not just the big courts, you can see all the players on the back courts as well. And it was just amazing being in that atmosphere. And we also had tickets to court 2, so I saw Venus Williams play against Coco Gauff, who's now my favorite tennis player, and it was just amazing to see and just feel what they're going through and how competitive it is.
Yeah, and who were some of those players that you took pictures with?
I took pictures with Caroline Wozniacki and Alexander Zverev. I also got pictures with Kevin Anderson, who's the best player that has ever come from South Africa. So he was really, we had a South African flag, and he was really happy to see us. So that was also really cool.
You're a junior here at St. Bonaventure University. I wanted to ask, what kind of brought you to the U.S. and really just mainly St. Bonaventure as well?
College tennis is very big in America, and I think as a competitive tennis player coming from South Africa, college tennis is just a great opportunity to keep playing competitive tennis and also getting a degree while being here. I chose St. Bonaventure because of the competitive conference that it's in and all the good schools that we get to play.
And for any player, challenges are bound to happen. For you, coming from South Africa, what were some of the challenges that you have encountered?
I think the biggest challenge was adapting to the culture. It was definitely harder than I expected it to be. I'm definitely settled now. I've made amazing friends that helped with the transition. But yes, I think adapting to the culture and the small town was a bit difficult at the start.
Talking to your parents can be such a challenge because of the time zones. How did you overcome that?
Yes, it's just about planning, because by the time I wake up, they've already had most of their day. So it's hard to find a time, especially because both of our schedules are really busy, to find a time that works. But it's just about, setting aside an hour once a week to just have some good quality time over a video call or something like that.
So Isabella, this whole tennis team is filled with international players. 12 out of the 15 play from outside the US. I wanted to ask, how have you been able to kind of connect with your teammates, and how have they kind of been also helping you just kind of adapt to the community here and also play tennis as well?
I think it's amazing that I have the opportunity to play with people from so many different countries. It's been really great getting to know them, getting to know their cultures, and going through the same thing. We're all international students adapting to life in America, and it's been really helpful having them going through the same thing. We can relate to things, support each other. It's honestly been a great experience.
Yeah, and last season you finished in doubles with a 10-3 record and 3-4 record in singles. What are your aspirations for yourself and for your team for this coming spring season?
We've been playing really strong doubles as a team the last few months and last year. So I would really like us to get our singles to that level as well, because I know we can. We have a tough schedule this coming season, but it's a great opportunity to play against good players and get better.
My final question for today, and I'll plan to ask this to all players, where do you see yourself after St. Bonaventure?
After St. Bonaventure, I would really like to do my postgrad at London School of Economics. That's a dream of mine. Or work for a year here or wherever there's an opportunity. And then eventually I'd like to go back home.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for this interview. I appreciate it. What we do with every Bonnie's players, international Bonnie's players here, just get the signature of any piece of equipment from their sport. Do you mind signing the ball real quick for this?
Sure.
Thanks for the love and support this semester. We had a great time making this show for you. It's going to be our last show for a while, but stay tuned for the new edition.